Like it now.
Including Brian's grandparents, Barbara and Bill Bavinger Jr., and Marty and Bob Walsh, Brian's uncle Kevin Walsh, and Caitlin's grandparents Les and Marie Arendell, Don Kahn, and Lou Boyer. We are fortunate that one of Caitlin's grandmothers, Nina Boyer, is able to be here today, though. I'm Bill Bavinger. I'm Brian's uncle and Connie's oldest brother. I've known Brian and his family for many years and have enjoyed witnessing his journey to adulthood. His love for the outdoors and adventure began at an early age. In addition to camping and skiing, he has a passion for aggressive mountain biking. Seeing Brian in full protective gear is a futuristic experience. After biking with Brian in the Colorado mountains a few years ago, our son commented that he never seemed to use his brakes. Fortunately, Caitlin's father, Steve, is with an insurance company, which will probably come in handy. But he also has a kind and caring side, which has always been evident in his relationship with his family and now in his relationship with Caitlin. This and his concern for others has led him to his career as a nurse. I've also had the pleasure recently of getting to know Caitlin and her family. She is adventurous, fun-loving, athletic, and obviously a very beautiful young woman. I'm told that she grew up trying to keep up with her boy cousins at her grandparents' farm, that she's played soccer for most of her life, and that she went to Russia as an exchange student and to Haiti as a volunteer. After assisting doctors in Haiti as part of a church mission group, she decided to pursue a career in nursing. All of us know by now Caitlin has a good sense of humor, which can be important from time to time in marriage. Paraphrasing my brother Bruce in a similar context, I'm confident that Caitlin will have the good sense of humor Brian. Some of you are probably wondering how Brian and Caitlin found each other. At one point in nursing school, Caitlin was discouraged about her performance on a test. Brian overheard her discussing this with a friend and piped up, helping her through this low point. Caitlin thought, very cute, understanding, and thoughtful, not bad. Brian thought, yes, and arranged to have himself transferred into Caitlin's nursing rotation group. At first, Caitlin thought he just wanted to be friends. As a result, when he asked her to go to a movie, she invited several of her friends too, and when he showed up for this first date, he was greeted cheerfully by the group. Fortunately, Brian refined his approach, and here we are. They're going to be a great team. Now, before we go further, I would like to ask Father Bruce Bavinger to say a few words. In addition to being Brian's uncle, Bruce is Connie and my brother and is a Jesuit priest, and I'm sure he plans to evaluate my performance at the end of this ceremony.
So, thanks to Brian and Caitlin for inviting me to take part in this ceremony and speak these words. Well, at first I thought of that we're not in a church, but whether you're not in a church, it's the foundation of the marriage that really counts, and it tends to be a kind of a love that's secure and steady, and words came to mind that were generous and accepting, kind of love that is both generous and accepts, and out of generosity, I think Brian and Caitlin would be looking out for each other, helping each other to do well, and sharing each other's life and space. And then for being accepting, they would give each other the freedom to keep being who each other is. Caitlin to be Caitlin and Brian to be Brian. So there's a proverb that I really like, maybe you've heard it. It says, she married him thinking he would change, and he didn't. And he married her thinking she would never change, and she did. And it has its truth, but it kind of suggests that spouses are headed for disappointment at some point. But if Brian and Caitlin are accepting of each other, then their love will hold together, and they'll change together, and they'll also stay the same together. And instead of disappointment, there'll be discovery and joy. St. Paul speaks of love as being the more excellent way. And winds up saying love believes all things, bears all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. And I think our prayer today is that Brian and Caitlin's love would be that, but also keep moving into that, so that their marriage endures and also has a lot of joy. Well, that's that.
Amen.
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 Thanks, Chris. With these thoughts in mind, let's now proceed to the formal part of this ceremony.
There we go. Yeah.
We'll start then with the vows. Brian, Brian, please repeat after me. I choose you, Caitlin, to be my wife as my friend and lover. I promise to be faithful, supportive, and loyal, and to give you my companionship and love throughout all the changes of our life. I vow to bring you happiness, and I will treasure you as my partner and accomplice. I will celebrate the joys of life with you. I promise to support your dreams and walk beside you. Offering courage and strength through sickness and health. Sorrow and success. Today and all the days of my life.
Through all the days of my life.
Today and all the days of my life.
Zoned out there, I'm sorry.
Today and all the days of my life.
Today and all the days of my life.
I will be proud to be your husband and your best friend.
I will be proud to be your husband and best friend.
Now, Caitlin, your turn. Please repeat after me. I choose you, Brian, to be my husband as my friend and lover.
Brian, I choose you today to be my friend and lover and husband.
I promise to be faithful, supportive, and loyal,
I promise to be faithful, supportive, and loyal.
and to give you my companionship and love
To give you my companionship and love
throughout all the changes of our life.
throughout all the changes of our life.
I vow to bring you happiness,
I vow to bring you happiness.
and I will treasure you as my partner and accomplice.
And I will
We'll fix it in post.
I'm going to give it to you all by yourself.
Hi, Winnie.